Well, hello, YouTube, and welcome to an educational adult story time with Lady Mac, author Carissa McIntyre. This is an educational story time. I will be reading to you a story I wrote around the educational use of an air pulse toy. This video is for educational purposes only, to show you all where you might find it, how you would use it, and how it would make you feel. You can find the full story with any words I may have had to leave out here. It is fully free. You do not have to sign up for my mail list for this one. You can just go and read it. The link will be in the description. Full disclosure, this is a test. Since my channel has grown, I have not done an educational reading, and I am hoping that it will stay within the guidelines. If you see this video and it disappears, there will have to be some changes to the second video coming in February that will also be an educational reading. If you don't see this video at all and you see a community note go up, I tried my best. But we are all going to be on the same page that I will do my best to make this as an entertaining, educational read as I possibly can. The story is called simply The Satisfier, and it is based off of the Satisfier brand. I am using a similar one in my following video where I will tell everybody why your wife, girlfriend, or single lady friends want and need this so badly and what it is that is so fascinating. But we will touch on it briefly in my story. So now that I feel like there's an amount of time I have to wait at the beginning before I can even say anything, just in case anyone is curious why suddenly there's like a method to the drawn outness. I have to hit a certain time mark before I can even begin to say certain things, or I will immediately not be allowed here. If this kind of stuff frustrates you and you have technical knowledge or know somebody who does, please have them reach out to me. Because I have tried to do Patreon. I have tried to do full uncensored content on other sites, and the technical side is out of my knowledge. I also did have a lot of readings up on the OF site. However, that became very unsafe for me because a lot of people expected something a lot different, and some of my content was recorded and shared to the people around me. And it was really just this with it was a little more, but like, it wasn't anyway, it was awful. It was an awful experience and it was very unsafe. So I'm here again, attempting to do it on here while following the guidelines. So please follow along find the link below, and you can read every word and the ending for yourself. So, enjoy The Satisfier. Listen up, my friends, because I have a story to share with you all, and it involves my new friend, similar, it's a lot bigger, The Satisfier. Size doesn't matter for this. It doesn't go in anywhere. If you haven't tried this hot new toy yet, or any of its pulsing relatives, then you simply just haven't been satisfied. And yes, pun intended. Trust me, this is the toy for you, and I'm about to tell you why. Buckle up, because it's quite the ride. For me, it's been a while since I've had any fun in my life. And I've been through my own toy chest a time or two. Maybe a few more times than that. And I'm bored with what I find inside. I'm looking for something different. And I'm desperate for some excitement. So after work one day, I decide to pop into my local adult boutique to pick up something new and thrilling. I prefer my local shop as opposed to online because I actually get to chat with real people who work there one-on-one, and I can learn about the products firsthand, so I know what I'm buying and know what I'm comfortable going home with. It's nice to know how something works, which is what I'm here to do, to show you how things work educationally. How to turn it on, hint, hint, before you get busy with it, and how to use it. Once I talked with someone for a few minutes, I asked them what was hot and new on the shelf, and they directed me to a range of toys called the Satisfiers. These were a new type of toy that weren't really or at all. They don't go in. Rather, they use an air pulsing technology to surround and suck and pulse around it with air, rather than vibrate with direct pressure on top of it. That direct pressure is a big deal. They are also waterproof and rechargeable, so my curiosity was piqued. I bought my new toy, the Satisfier Pro Plus Vibration, because it pulsed and vibrated, and I took it home with me. It definitely seemed like a toy I could have a lot of fun with. When I got to my house, I made sure not to rush straight into the bedroom. Like I said, it had been a while, and I really wanted to take my time and enjoy my night. It may have just been a new toy, but to this single lady, it may as well have been a new friend, and I was determined to make sure that it treated me right. First, I opened and cleaned the toy off. Then I set everything up nicely in my bedroom for later, placing the toy down with some on the side of my bed. Then I ran myself a really long, hot bubble bath, and I soaked until I felt my whole body began to calm down and relax, breathing in the lovely scents around me. Finally, I got out of the tub and slowly dried off, using all of my best lotions to treat and tease my drying skin, setting the mood. See, there's a lot of educational stuff in here, you guys. This is an educational story. As the day I was born, I made my way into my bedroom, eyeing up the bed where the toy and lay waiting. By the way I felt, I highly doubted that I would need any extra lubrication. But it is important to have it ready always, because you never know. Self-pleasure, or any kind of pleasure, always feels better wetter. I wandered around the room and lit some candles before turning off all of the ceiling lights. My bedroom now covered in a soft, flickering glow. Then I made my way to my bed, laying down on top of the soft covers and getting comfortable on my back, the cool air causing goosebumps to break out over my still slightly damp skin. Anticipation was finally getting the best of me. I just couldn't wait any longer to use my new toy. Between all the hype over it at the store and my own eager, and considering how long it had been since I truly had one real good, great, I was raring to go. You guys like my, I reached over and took the Satisfier in my hands, admiring the smooth design and the boomerang-like shape that it had to it. The woman at the store had explained to me that the shape was so I could hold it at an angle which allowed me to change the pressure I received and still be able to access the buttons in my small soft hand at the same time. I placed it in my palm the way it was meant to be held, closing my fingers around it, and then I lowered it between to my hovering it just above where I was aching to be touched. Oh yes, I could see how this would work perfectly, and the silicone was so soft with just a little, it would feel exquisite. I brought it back up towards my face to view it again, even though now there was something between that was screaming for me, begging not to be ignored. I was already so anxious. Teasing myself just a few moments longer, I squeezed my legs together, forcing myself to hold off. A little at the pressure, feeling my thighs start to slip and slide against one another as something was already leaking down and coating me. This is getting difficult. I wonder how many people this is getting difficult for. I ran the toy along my fingers again, feeling the softness of it once more, imagining how slippery and silky it will feel around my... I turned on the pulsing button, listening to the odd, quiet little sound of the motor, like a little purr, already so powerful. I doubted I could get myself through all 11 settings. Then, just for a little extra fun, I turned the vibration button on, activating the vibrator in the handle. I know that there was a multitude of combinations and vibrations and pulses that I could choose from. Educational. But for now, I decided I would keep it on the first one. I would explore more once I got a feeling for it. I set the toy down on the bed for a moment and reached over and grabbed the bottle of beside me. I squeezed a couple of drops of the slippery liquid onto my fingers. And then I gently let them slide over me before applying a bit of pressure and opening them. Then I moved them upwards, making sure to cover everything in a lot of slipperiness, but not keep my fingers there too long. I was eager enough as it was, and I desperately wanted that from my toy. Slowly, biting my bottom lip as I intensely watched my own hands moving, I spread and lowered the toy towards me, humming quietly away on the lowest setting. As I placed the end of it over me, it felt like tiny, soft circular thing almost swallowed over it, like a tiny little, added with the lubrication, it created a wonderful tight seal of airflow. I gasped. The feeling of air pulses and movement around me, so foreign and yet so delicious and inviting. I wanted more. I quickly hit the positive sign on the button twice, kicking it up a few notches. My gasp turning into a moan as I felt the sensations increase. This toy was like nothing I had ever felt before. I was in heaven. Suddenly, just as fast as it had picked up speed, my need increased with it, and I was gripping the bedsheets beside me with my free hand, sounds turning into a cry of surprise mixed with enjoyment. I had gone from ready to close already, and then fighting it off, my hand holding it, trembling and white-knuckled. Oh, this toy was made from magic, witchcraft, sorcery, something. I would almost describe it as the world's smallest, softest, talented, and most skilled mouth, lips, everything, all of them, many of them touching me all at the same time, gently licking, lapping, teasing, yet not touching at all, because there really wasn't any sensation, and yet there was. Enough that I wanted to crawl the walls around me. This was not your average toy. Oh, it's gonna get a little buck wild now. And I don't know where my limit is on here. Throwing the head back on the pillow, knees up, toes curled, one hand going at it. I would love for you to finish the story yourself and let me know what you think. You can find it here. Sorry to be such a tease. Oh, I'm touching you. I know you guys like it when I touch you. Okay. I'm testing the waters with this. There's a few words I don't even know if I can say, but I'm trying to say them slowly. We're going to see how this one does in terms of whether or not it gets taken down. Okay? If it doesn't get taken down, I'm in the midst of creating another similar one, but around this little wee one, like a travel size. And I will say different words. Okay? We got to ease back into this. I gotta be a good girl. Did you see my TikTok about what happens when you say good girl to me 3 times? Okay, I'm getting a little out of hand here. I'm getting a little unhinged on some of my social media, and I kind of like it. I've missed being fun and free and doing what I want in that sense. So, okay, go check out my other channels. They're all under the same name. Please let me know what you thought of this. Please go finish the story for yourself. It gets real good and the bed gets shaky. I just don't think I can get away with that on here. But I wanted to give you a tease because I like to be a tease. Okay, that's all. My next story may or may not be more. We'll see if you guys even get to see this one. Watch, this one also gets taken down within like 3 minutes and I'm left with book videos on my YouTube. I want to do this. I want to do the fun videos again, guys, okay? So don't get me in trouble. Help me make this really well, okay? If this does well, the next one will have more words. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. It means a lot. It means a lot if you've made it all the way to the end here. Okay. Appreciate you guys. Carissa McIntyre, author, Lady Mac out. Stay tuned for more smutty stories, readings soon.